This podcast is an international one, and I have my good friend Viktor over from Sweden.
I'm glad I could do this first podcast with you. I'm still glad I met you as a friend when I was backpacking my way in India. I have it right here.
All right. So that's the book in Sweden, by the way. So talking about international authors. So a little pat on my back that I could write the book because I could not complete a whole book in my life. Leave aside writing a whole book.
Yes. So I have read the book. I have put some notes, and it's a very good book. I like a lot of points of it, but I also dislike a few points here and there. Like he said, I am more of the controlled substance user and not. I don't care if you actually use it or not, but I want you to have the best opportunity in your life. So if drugs is something for you, I want you to be able to control it with the information you have. And if drugs is actually not good for you, I want you to be able to quit it without having a big problem from it. So it's personal to personal, but for me, I have been able to use it without getting too much trouble in my life. The reason why a lot of people are using drugs is because they want to run away from reality, or they want to run away from the problems. That you have problems around your life, that you fix them first. And if you want to use drugs after that, it's up to you, but then you don't use it to run away from it. And that is the greatest thing that you need to know. A lot of drug use people have a lot of power in them, because I have seen a lot of ways that people actually go to get their fix. Like they have so much power to just, they can travel like half the country from like over miles to just get their fix. And no one that is actually powerless is able to do that. The way I've seen people get their fix, it's like, I will never do that, but I know it's like I will never suck a dick in the back alley to get my next heroin fix or meth fix or stuff like that. There's a lot of power, but you still need to control your way of using that power for your betterment of yourself. If you haven't had a gun point at your head that every time you're gonna use the drug, then I might be compassionate with yourself. But in the end, it's still your choice. So for me, I don't like this compassionate shit, because in the end, no one is gonna care about you except yourself.
The first few years, it was really difficult for me to work in the society, because everybody took me as an addict. Nobody trusted me. Nobody trusted me with money. Simple, Nobody was a drug addict. So the hack that I did was, I joined a political party. It's called BJP in Chandigarh. So, I started working selflessly for the party. Prime Minister Modi, he's from BJP, he's the head of the party. And during those elections, I got to work really closely with the society again. And since I was not doing any business with them, I was not, transacting anything with them. I was just getting their things done, And, when I was working with the regular, normal people around me, solving their problems related to the municipality, related to everything around them. And because the party is in power, so, we had to go and get things done. And since the elections were coming, we had to resolve all the problems that people had. And since I was handling the IT cell, that is the information and technology cell, I was able to meet many leaders of the society, get to meet them, talk to them, tell them about my struggles. So slowly the momentum started to build, and people started to accept me as a normal person. After my, the tag that was on my forehead, the addict tag. I remember when the last time there were elections in Punjab, and the new chief minister, the head of the state, came, and his name is Bhagwan Singh Mann. And he said that he wants people, the recovered addicts, to come forward and help other people do the same. I waited a full month for anybody else to come forward. I couldn't find any on the social media, so I had to do it. I took it as a challenge. It was really difficult to come forward and tell everyone that I've been an addict, I've been in addiction, and that sort of thing. But it's been a very rewarding thing for me to do.
We're grateful to have this conversation. I like this conversation. It's a very intriguing, and the best thing is that when you hear this podcast, is that me and Vikram doesn't always agree with each other, but we understand each other, and that is a very great thing to do. Is that you have people that not always is gonna agree with you, that's gonna challenge your point of view, and that is a very important thing. When you have those people around you, that is how you actually have a great community that you're gonna create as well.
You have started watching the Vikram Sethi podcast. Please don't forget to share this podcast with an addict or their families. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I hope you enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Quit Drugs with Vikram Sethi, the podcast that I'm making after I've written a book on the same matter. It's called Quit Drugs Like Me. And I promised everyone that I will work for the cause of de-addiction. I've written a book and I'm trying to do a podcast now. And this podcast is a very special one because this is an international one. And I have my good friend Viktor over from Sweden. And Viktor is a very, very interesting personality. Viktor was hitchhiking and traveling in India when he met me. I was in Kolkata to help a friend of mine going through addiction. And we met there in a hostel. And he's quite a fellow. I tell you, he's very interesting. And he's the best human being you can ever meet. And with in regards to drug addiction, he believes more in the controlled the controlled environment regarding the drug use and more education on the matter, which is missing right now. And we'd like to welcome Viktor on the show. Welcome, Viktor.
Thank you. I'm grateful to be here.
Okay. I'm very thankful that you could make it after a long day of work. And we welcome you from the bottom of my heart. And sir, you read the book, right?
Yes, I have it right here.
All right. So that's the book in Sweden, by the way. So talking about international authors. So a little pat on my back that I could write the book because I could not complete a whole book in my life. Leave aside writing a whole book. And so yes, Viktor, you read the book. Thank you for ordering the book. Thank you for reading the book. And now we'd like to learn a little about how you feel about the book, how you feel about the writing, about what is written in there, about the mission altogether. So I'll give the mic to you. Welcome, and let's do it.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, so I have read the book. I have put some notes, and the first thing I really liked about this book, especially if someone has addiction, is that it's very easy to read. So it doesn't take a lot of energy to do it. You can read like 10 pages. It's very easy to digest.
Right.
And it's a lot of it's a very easy to digest, and I like how you're written. Especially if someone has dyslexia and stuff like that, it's very comfortable to read. It doesn't take much, and it's a very good book. I like a lot of points of it,
Right.
but I also dislike a few points here and there. So the first thing is that I like how you. I'm gonna tell you about the best thing about me because, like he said, I am more of the controlled substance user and not I don't care if you actually use it or not, but I want you to have the best opportunity in your life. So if drugs is something for you, I want you to be able to control it with the information you have. And if drugs is actually not good for you, I want you to be able to quit it without having a big problem from it. So it's personal to personal, but for me, I have been able to use it without getting too much trouble in my life.
Right.
And the best thing I like about this book, it's let's see here. I have it. See the page. Let's see it there. On page 67, capital opioid substance therapy, OST for short.
Yeah.
The reason why I like like this is because he's giving a lot of information about the drugs you're gonna use for opioid rehabilitation.
Yes.
Because you get the information that you need, you have an understanding of what you're actually gonna do, and you have an understanding of the drugs you're gonna use if you want to use them.
Right.
And that's a very great thing because with knowledge, you have more security in yourself. So if you use it, you're not as worried because you know what you're taking in.
Mm.
So I like that because it's a lot of information that I think is very great.
Right.
So that's best part. And if we go to page 79, we have bouncing back from relapse.
Yeah.
And about that, I have that the first, I'm gonna read a sentence from it.
Yeah.
The first step in relapse recovery is acknowledging the reality of what happened.
Yeah.
That is that. What I like about that is that you first of all stop blaming your environment. You stop
Yeah.
blaming uh, your weaknesses. You stop blaming that. You need to look from the whole picture. So the first thing you need to do is actually, and this is also thing he writes about, that is have a mindfulness, be able to meditate, be able to uh, see the whole picture, because the reason why a lot of people are using drugs is because they want to run away from reality,
Yeah.
or they want to run away from the problems.
Yeah.
And that's you always have written in the book. Especially, I don't remember exactly which page it was. It was in the beginning, but you told me about that you had the biggest problem is when your father died and you need to take over the company, and you had a lot of struggle with that.
Yeah.
So you took the easy way out, which is
Yes.
not a great thing because you didn't handle the problem. So you took drugs to avoid the problem. But after the drugs effect is gone, the problem is still going to be there, but it's going to be much greater and it's going to be much harder to do.
It is.
So the first thing is that don't use anything to run away from the problems. Fix the problems first. And that is why I like just this. It's you acknowledge that you have problems around your life, that you fix them first. And if you want to use drugs after that, it's up to you. But then you don't use it to run away from it. And that is the greatest thing that you need to know.
That's
And
exactly.
that's the same thing. You don't, yeah. So it doesn't have to be about just that you're using drugs. You can run away from problems, that not having contact with your family because, oh shit, I have maybe fighting with them, or you're trying to run away. Like, don't do it to run away, because you can never run from your past. You can just hide it. You can hide from it for a little while,
Yeah.
but it's always going to catch up in the end.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So that is a very great thing to do. And one thing as well I liked, uh, is that, let's see here, I have it perfect. In page On page 85, cognitive behavioral therapy and
Yeah.
mindfulness bias relapse prevention.
Yeah.
On page 93, there you're saying being mindful, you learn to observe your cravings without acting on them impulsively.
Yeah.
And that is back to the thing. It's like, oh shit, I have a problem, but
Yeah.
drugs makes me feel good, so
Yeah.
I'm taking the drugs to make me feel good. But that is like putting a band-aid on a broken leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might look good, it might feel good for a while, but the thing is, the leg is still gonna be broken.
Right.
So it's that you need to calm down, see the whole picture. Don't always look at what you have, because anger, confusionness, you will have a very narrow-minded and a tunnel vision.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you just stop and calm down, look around what you have, then you will have a greater picture of yourself.
Yeah.
So for me, that is, when I was a teenager, I had a very much anger issues.
Okay.
And for me, I had a very bad way of communicating. So I learned that whenever I got angry, I started saying stuff that I didn't want to say or want to take back or didn't mean it. But the thing is, like, when you say something to a person, it doesn't matter if you regret it, that thing has been said. And it's the same with drugs. if you have that, you're still gonna be taking drugs. You're still gonna be running away from it. So it will not change anything.
Yeah.
So for me, what I did, when I got angry or got in the conversation, I ran away from it first, calmed down, looked at the bigger picture, then confronted it again.
Yeah.
So it's okay to run away for a little while to be able to get yourself together, but don't run away from the problem because you still need to confront the problem.
Yes.
And I've seen that a lot as well, is that people think that, oh, I'm just running away from it. I can still see the big picture, but I don't want to confront it because it's going to make me feel bad. But feeling bad in life is not going to be a big deal breaker because everyone has their bad points. Everyone going to feel bad. But the more you actually confront it, the stronger you're going to get, the more confidence you're going to get. And then the later and later in life, I started to be able to calm down during the conversation. So I stopped running away from it. So I confronted the conversation at the point.
Yeah.
And that is the same with drug use things, is that when you do that, it's going to be like you're running away from it, you're using the drugs, while you don't confront the problem you have. You don't confront the reason you run away from it from the beginning because it's going to make you feel bad again.
Yeah.
But feeling bad, feeling that you failed is okay, because you will fail a lot in life, and that is the thing you need to learn, that failure is not a bad thing.
Yes.
Because failure is what makes you a great human. It's So the thing is that when you're using drugs, you have an altered mind. It's like same thing. It's like if you're too tired, don't do anything like that, because tiredness is similar to being on drug use, because you don't have a clear mind, which makes you won't be able to think clearly. You won't be able to solve the problem you have. So a lot of people do that with compared to drugs.
Yeah.
So I like that. And this and it's going to be coming this and the same thing here with the using the law of attraction on page 97.
Yeah.
Using the law of attraction, it doesn't I don't know, I don't like oh, I'm going to attract this. It's not going to work like that. You need to move forward to the goal you want to.
Yeah.
So for me, if I want to achieve something, I need to go to that goal. And when you go to that goal, you're going to attract people around you that have maybe similar mind, or that can actually challenge you on your mind.
Yeah.
So you can actually think really. So on page 100 of the same chapter, you have the sentence, you have the power within you to rewrite your story and become a successful recovering addict. Believe in yourself, trust the process, and know that a bright future awaits you. Is that you need to have a clear mind. You need to be able to calm yourself down when you're feeling threatened, when you're feeling that you're failing and stuff like that. It's all the part of problems, because wherever you're going to be successful or just going to live a normal life, there will always be challenges like that. So if you learn to control yourself and be able to back down, calm down, see the bigger picture, then you can confront the problem with a brighter mind.
You're right.
So I like that, because you're telling them that they have power in them, they have control, because a lot of drug use people have a lot of power in them, because I have seen a lot of ways that people actually go to get their fix.
Yeah.
Like I have, they have so much power to just they can travel like half the country from like over miles to just get their fix.
Yeah.
And no one that is actually powerless is able to do that.
No.
But the thing is, like, you're focusing your strength on something that's going to destroy you instead of focusing your strength that's going to be helping you. So you always have the power in you. You just need to learn how to redirect on something you actually want.
Yeah.
So it's a great thing that you have that you're pulling up that stuff.
I'd like to share
And
one little small thing about the power of a recovered addict.
yeah.
What I've seen is after I recovered, I've been able to face many difficult situations and circumstances which a normal person probably cannot. I've seen it around
Yeah.
me. I've seen those people who have been in addiction. They've come out of addiction. Then they've soared so high. They've achieved so
Yeah.
much. that no normal person can do that. So
Yeah,
I truly believe, in the capabilities of an addict if he
yeah, yeah, yeah,
decides to recover and make something out of it. So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, so I like that. I like that a lot because that's the thing is like you have the strength in you. You're not powerless because if you're able to travel half the country just to get your fix
Yeah,
or suck a dick in the back alley, you have the strength to do that to get you. So just focus your strength on the thing that's actually gonna make you more happier. Because that's the thing is like a lot of people is like, oh, you don't have power because you're using drugs. But well, but I've been in that world, you have been in that world,
yeah,
and you have seen people doing a lot of mind exercise, a lot of strength when they are in a weakening state
yeah,
to get just that fix. So that's the thing, it's like you need to control where you're gonna put that strength in.
yeah,
Because that is like everything has bad side and good sides on it. You just need to know how to use it for a betterment of yourself.
that's right.
So that's the very thing. And it's like it's gonna be uncomfortable, but it's gonna still be uncomfortable to traveling half the country to get your fix. It's gonna still be uncomfortable to suck a dick in the alley to get your next fix.
Yeah,
Everything that is still gonna be uncomfortable, but why not make it uncomfortable and make it work for you
yeah,
than making it uncomfortable just to drag you down more in that pit of hell that you just want to leave.
yeah, yeah,
So that's the thing, is like you have a lot of power in you, but a lot of people around you are going to say, oh, you don't have the power in you because you're using drugs, you don't have that. But the way I've seen people get their fix, it's
mhm.
like
Unbelievable.
I would never do, I would never do that. But I know it's like I would never suck a dick in the back alley to get my next heroin fix or meth fix or stuff like that. There's a lot of power, but you still need to control your way of using that power for your betterment of yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
So I like that you're actually telling people that they have power in them, and it's great, and you should see it. But and that's coming back to the thing is like when you're using drugs, you start feeling good. You start feeling, oh my shit, I don't need now I start feeling good.
Yeah,
But it's coming back to the thing again. It's like you're putting a band-aid on a broken leg. You cannot. It's gonna feel good for a little while, but you're still gonna be having a broken leg. It's
right.
better to take that, fix the leg, and then you won't even put the band-aid on it. It's gonna be longer. It's gonna be probably harder, but in the end, it's gonna fix the problem you have at the moment.
Yeah,
So I like that about just that you're giving first of all information, you're giving them the strength to actually, you're telling them that they have strength. But one thing is like back to bouncing back from the relapse. On page 81, this is what I don't also like. It's like a relapse doesn't mean you have failed. You have, for me, you have failed. And it's not bad to fail because if you acknowledge, okay, I have failed with these things. Now I need to look back what I did wrong,
yes, yes,
what made me go to a different path. Okay, I made this failure, I made this failure, I succeeded in this, I succeeded in this. I'm gonna focus on things succeeded, try new things and continue.
right.
Because people that have done, I don't, for me, if I was a recovering addict, I don't want anyone to sugarcoat stuff for me. So for me, I didn't like just that meaning. It's like a relapse doesn't mean you failed. It's okay to fail. It's okay to not succeed because you have done that. It's okay, but you need to know why you failed and why you didn't succeed at that moment and try again.
Right.
But if you're telling people that they don't have failed, they might start blaming people around them or people or environment. It's like, oh, but I don't live in a best place.
Yeah,
Okay, but then you don't focus on the actual things you can do. So that I didn't like just that meaning because I don't want anyone to sugarcoat stuff for me, especially when I'm in that situation. Because I want people to be honest with me, and that I want to know. Like, so for me, I didn't like that sentence.
I just want to
And
I just want to say something
yeah,
regarding that point. See,
yeah,
there's another thing that I've written in the book. It's about being
mm-mm-mm.
compassionate to yourself, not being
Yeah,
too
yeah,
hard on yourself. So the language, I think I've written it because in order to be compassionate with yourself, you have to be easy on yourself. You don't have to, take yourself as a failure. You have to
Yeah,
work
yeah,
on it. You have to do everything that is to be done to get over it,
yeah.
to, look at all the triggers that actually got you there, to, take care of those things that they should not happen again in the future. So
Mm-hmm.
it's about being easy on yourself. It's about being
Yeah,
compassionate
okay.
to yourself. So that was
Yeah,
the little point I was trying to make there.
yes. No, I don't think that this. It's like for me, compassionate. You can be compassionate with yourself when you actually succeed. In the beginning, you need to be rough with yourself. You need to know that you are the only reason what you got in there. There's nothing in your environment. There's no one to blame but you.
Yeah.
If you haven't had a gun point at your head that every time you're gonna use the drug, then okay, then I can might be compassionate with yourself. But in the end, you still have it's still your choice.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't like this compassionate shit because in the end, no one is gonna care about you except yourself. No one is gonna. If I say something and you don't follow it, I don't care. If you follow 20% of it, I don't care because in the end, I'm gonna still continue living my life, and you're still continuing living your life. So the
Yeah.
only one you need to like this thing is like if you go to a gym, you cannot be compassionate towards yourself. The reason why you because you want to go to the gym to make to get a greater body. You
Yeah.
cannot be compassionate with yourself. You need to be rough. You need to push yourself beyond your boundaries. That's how you actually get stronger. So for
Yeah.
me, I don't think compassionate is the right way because if you really want to quit drugs, then you need to be actually truthful, honest, and rough with yourself. That you need to push you beyond your boundaries, and that for me is how I think you're actually going to succeed.
Yes. Yes. You're also right.
Yeah, but yeah, but we have different points of view there, and that's totally that always gonna be like for whatever I say in this thing, wherever Vikram says this thing, it's like if he feels like but 20% of what Vikram or me saying, I feel like that's gonna connect to me, then he use only 20%
Yeah.
of what we said. If you want to use 100%, you're gonna use 100%. If you're gonna use non-percent, that doesn't matter. But you need to learn what is gonna work for you best. And if you don't know, try. If you fail with that one, don't do the insanity thing is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result. Because maybe this book doesn't work for you, it's okay. But maybe 20% of these books work for you, that's okay.
Yeah.
But you need to actually look into yourself, try new stuff, go out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That is actually how you're gonna succeed in life.
Yes.
Because no one at the top or no one actually succeeded or no one that has a very comfortable life has done that with has done those choices with only being I'm gonna be comfortable with this, I'm gonna try this. Then you're never gonna succeed.
Right.
It's like when you were when you were a baby. First, you didn't know how to crawl, so you put yourself at your boundaries to crawl. Then you start learning how to walk. But if you stop, I only want to learn how to walk, then you will never be able to run because that's going to be out of your comfort zone. So
Right.
you always need to push yourself. You need to know that in the end, the world is like a mountain, and you can either become a diamond or be crushed by it
Right.
because you always have pressures around you. You're always going to be. So if you put that pressure on you and you're preparing for it, then it's going to be easier when someone else is putting similar pressure on you because you have already put your mind that whatever they're going to say, I'm going to push through it and I'm going to succeed.
Well
So for
said.
me,
Well
I
said.
want,
Very good.
yeah, yeah.
Very good.
So that's the thing. It's like, that's life. You're either going to get crushed or you're going to turn into a diamond. And it's up to you if whatever you want to do.
Right.
Because pressure, you're always going to have it. But
Yeah.
prepare to like read about it, learn about it. Then when that pressure is gonna come, it's not gonna be out of nowhere. You're gonna be more prepared. You gotta be able to handle the situation you are in because you have put yourself out of your comfort zone, and that is a very important thing to quit drugs because a lot of people when they're using drugs and they're using it is because it's comfortable. This is what I know.
Yeah.
So if I have a problem, I don't want to put myself out of that comfort zone because it's going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to be having a pressure on me. Then you're never going to succeed because it's easier to go back to what's comfortable for you than actually push yourself out of your comfort zone. So that's a lot of things. Like just be prepared because no one in the end, no one is going to care about you except yourself. No one is going to care about whatever you do except yourself. So that is a very important thing. Whatever you want to do, you can do it or die trying. I'm just saying, because in the end, not all is going to succeed in life, but at least as long as you make it comfortable for you and you strive for that, it's not going to be impossible. But you need to put yourself out of your comfort zone. And a lot of people don't want to do that because we humans, we are very basic creatures, if I'm going to say that. We like to be in our comfort zone. We like to do stuff that doesn't put that in a harm way, but that is actually how you're actually going to succeed. So the faster you learn that and understand that, the easier it's going to be when you get in those situations.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of things. Like I have to make to that point again. I have this see here. Maybe it's wait. Let's see there. Yes, on chapter after on page 112, you're talking about the main takeaways from my detox story you can use for your successful de-addiction now. First of all, decide to quit. You can decide whatever you want, but if you want to put you better, if you want to decide to quit, that's up to you. But if you feel like drug is still such a big part of you, maybe control it and actually adapt to your surroundings. Learn to reduce the withdrawal symptom. It's a very good thing. And this thing, connect with your family for support and accountability. It's not weak. You're in the weekend. You're in a weak period of your life. It's very good to get strength from other people, but don't always depend on them. But take inspiration from them.
Yes. Yes.
Because, like I said, whatever I say,
yeah,
precisely. And then it's like whatever I say might not work for you. That's okay. And like I said earlier, whatever I say, 20% might work for you. That's okay. But always take inspiration from others and make it to your own diamond, because no one is going to be like you, but a lot of people are similar to you.
Yes. Yes.
And this thing is like joining a support group like Narcotic Anonymous. It's a very great thing because you can be surrounded by people that want to do similar stuff by you, but it's also a dangerous thing if you only depend on them too much. Because if me and Vikram was in that group and me and him support each other and I fail, and he actually actually depends on me to succeed, then he also gonna fail. So that's the very thing, like find the strength in you, take inspiration from others, but don't always depend on them to 100%, because you need to do it on your own. You need to take your own path, because in the end, I'm going to live my life. Vikram is going to live his life, and everyone else around this podcast is going to live their life. Right. No one is going to be able to handle you.
Sure.
So that's the very thing. And one thing as well is very, very, stop meeting old friends you were using it with.
Yeah.
Because then it's going back to the comfort thing. Okay, I'm going to go back to my friends. Okay, they're using it. Okay, I can stand against it a little bit, but then I'm going to be, then I want to be in the pack again. Yeah. Because we humans are very social creatures. It's like it's a very torture. Like it's torture if you're all alone. Yeah. So if you're going back to your old friend group that are only using it, you want to be part of that group again, because otherwise you're going to feel left out.
Yes.
So it's easier to go back to that again. So you need to start putting yourself out there again. That's very.
I think
and
that
make
is the,
new
that
friends
is the
who
most
inspire you.
common cause for relapses in most of the cases.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly
precisely.
People, when they've been sober for a while, they become complacent. They think that now nothing, we can handle it. We can go there. Maybe we can help our friends even quit. So that kind of thing, and never works. Never works.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. Because, like I said, we are very social creatures. We want to be social. We don't want to left out. So you need to start creating your own friend group that have maybe similar goals or can actually challenge you on your goals. That's a very important thing. That don't always be surrounded also by yes men, because that's also gonna fuck you up, and it's not gonna be great for you either. Because if you don't get challenged on your views, then you're never gonna be improving as a person, and that also gonna be very uncomfortable for someone. So that's a very great thing. But one thing I really don't like, it's this book is gonna. I want the people to be able that wants to quit be able to quit, but I also wants people that actually wants to use drugs but use it in a respectful manner, because there's a lot of successful people that do use drugs, but they're capable of controlling it. So it's not impossible for you to succeed even if you have it, but you need to know where to put your strengths on. So if I have friends that I have friends that that know people that using cocaine, but they have a very successful business, but they're using that to make themselves better in that business. So they're putting that strength they're putting that strength into succeeding in their businesses. But
Right.
a lot of people that might be using drugs or cocaine and stuff like that just to feel good, but they don't do anything with it. So when they need that drug again to work, they need to do in a bad way, like rob someone, sucking dick in the alley, getting diseases, being in the bad places just to get that fixed. But if you are able to use that thing to actually succeed in your life, it's not gonna be bad either. So that's a very thing.
So
And the
moderation,
thing is like
yeah,
precisely.
yeah.
Continue.
Moderation.
You said
I sometimes feel that the people who can moderate, the
mm,
people who can moderate, they already have it in them. The people who are
mm,
moderating. See, uh, I'll tell you the maximum number of people I've seen who use drugs, who moderate drugs, and who can work, with no problems. They can work. They can do all their family responsibilities. They can do whatever they want to do, and still have moderate amount of drugs in their life. Have been those people who were heavily into drugs at some point of time, and now that uh, they collapsed at some point of time, and then they realized that how to make use of substances, rather than destroying your life with hectic use of them. So most of the people
yeah.
moderating have been into heavy drug use and have come back from the heavy drug use, maybe quit for a while, and then came back to moderate the substance. So
Yeah.
that is what I've seen. That is what I've seen.
Yeah.
There are some
I
people
think
like you also, who didn't have to
mm,
go into the deep end of the ocean to realize that it's too way too deep. But people see, I
yeah.
live in India. I live in Punjab, and
Mm, mm,
these are socio-economic circumstances around you that make you the kind of drug user you are. So here, what's happening in my state, Punjab, is that people are being pushed into drugs. It's a whole conspiracy thing. So everybody is using drugs here. So primarily I've written this book to help those people, because I've primarily written it in
mm,
Punjab. And
yeah. And
so this, I know, this intellectual thing of moderating the drugs and all. Sir, you sir are very privileged to be born in Europe and to have that kind of society around you. The place I was born in isn't that intellectual. I'm very sorry to say regarding drug use. They are maniacs, and people are dying every day in my area. I know people who died in my around me in my life. My friends, most of my friends are dead. So moderate use in India means moderate use for a while and then dying of it a little while later, because you cannot keep it moderated for a long time here. I don't know, there is something
yeah.
wrong, the mentality or what, I don't know. People can't
No.
moderate.
It's very similar here in Europe as well. I have a lot of friends that died from drug use.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, I'm a very rare case, especially here, because I have not seen people actually using it moderately around the companies I've been around.
yeah,
because they don't have the knowledge.
Yeah.
It's like with alcohol here. We in Swedish school we learn about alcohol, what you do if someone pukes, dehydration and stuff like that. But drugs is like, drugs is bad. Why are they bad? No, you can get addicted to it. Yeah, but you can get addicted to alcohol. But we learn about alcohol, but we don't learn about the drug use. So when people have the knowledge and or
Mm.
capability of seeking out the knowledge, they will have a better understanding of what they're taking in, or have a better understanding to say no,
Yeah.
because I know what this is. It's not going to work for me. I don't want that. And that's the thing. It's like for me, when I started using drugs, I was 21. I have been around people. I've been using drugs since I was 12. I always said no because I didn't understand it, so I didn't want to take it. And I'm glad I did it because, especially in teenage year, you think you're invincible. It doesn't matter what happens to you. You're gonna survive this shit. Getting your head chopped off now, and it's not gonna be a problem. You can grow it back again.
Yeah.
But thing is, like when I started using it, the first thing I did was read about it. Then I had an understanding of it, and then I had the capability of saying no or saying yes. And learning about the overdose, learning about the consequences is a very good thing because in your drug state of mind, you are not 100% yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% myself when I'm in drug state of mind. So when you have the knowledge of understanding what you're taking in, then you also have the knowledge and capability to not maybe using it for a bad reason, or don't run away from it, and don't run towards it because you're running away from something, because you have the knowledge inside of yourself. And that is a very important thing, is that get the knowledge, understand it, and then you can take a judgment if it's going to be for you. And if it's not, I'm grateful. If it is, I'm grateful. In the end, you need to understand yourself or what you're capable of. That is a very important thing for me.
Yes. Yes.
And yes, so this is one thing I really don't like about this book, is the 12 step of Narcotic Anonymous. I am a guy that reads about a lot of stuff, and I want people to actually, when they want to quit stuff, I want to be able to understand it. The 12-step program has a low rate of success.
All right.
From 5 to 10% have usually people are succeeding. And that is not only me saying, that's a lot of people actually is in those programs that they know they have a low chance of success rate.
But is there
And
something
for me,
wrong with the steps, the 12 steps in itself?
yes, a few of them actually. First step, I'm gonna come to that point. First step, surrounding to powerlessness. We are admitting that we are powerless of addiction, that our lives have become unimaginable. This acknowledgement allows you to lay the foundation for the change.
Mm.
It's very contradicting in your book later, because you're telling people that they have power, but you want them to follow steps that the first step is telling you don't have any power. So for me, that feels like a very bad thing to actually put in to someone, that first of all, you're very powerless, but then you put later in the book that they have power. And that's why I like when you put it in later, but they have power, but I don't like the first step, that they are powerless. Because like I said, if you're able to travel half the country, if you're able to live on the fucking streets, if you're able to do stuff like that, you have power in you, but you don't using it for your own better good. You need to learn how to control that power to make it better for you. And this thing, like if you're not also a believer, it's gonna be very hard for you to actually go through those steps, because a lot of those steps actually believe that you need to go to a higher power to able to reignite or cultivate faith in the possibility of lasting recovery. So if you don't actually as a believer, it's gonna be hard for you to actually follow those steps, because okay, I'm not a strong believer. So for me, it feels like more of a cult than actually something that, because if I'm not a believer, I don't have any religion to believe in, that
You
step
have
two is
to
gonna be,
you have to believe in something higher than our own consciousness, the combined
yeah,
consciousness of the universe.
yeah, and for me, the higher is inside of me, not outside of me,
It is. It is.
because the strength you have, it's a very high power you have in you.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a very important to look inside of you than always out forward. But for some people, it's gonna be working if you look outside, and that's what I said. It's that something is gonna work for me, something is not gonna work for you, and the opposite is gonna be the same thing. So for me, that thing is like if you're not a believer, or if you don't want to believe in something, the step two is gonna put you out of even trying to actually follow the 12-step program.
Right.
And for me, when I know that the success rate is quite low,
Mm.
people that actually wants to quit drugs maybe have tried the 12-step program and it doesn't work for them. So you need to actually. I want people to actually succeed, and I hate this 12-step program evil circles that okay if you don't follow it because you don't do this, you don't do that, it's not going to be working for you. But then it's going to be, oh, it's your problem because you don't follow this, and this. But like I said, 20% of what I'm saying is going to work for you. So I want people to have different options to actually succeed in life because it's the same thing with school. A lot of people, I don't like the school system either because it's going to be only for one kind of person that actually is able to read stuff, is able to memorize stuff. Those going to succeed in school. But those have maybe like ADHD that need more practical, they're not going to succeed. And then they're going to be seen as a failure, but not from their own actions, but the actions that is around them because doesn't just fit me. So I don't like this because also you said later in the book that the 12-step program has been around since 153, I think. No, 1953 in California, right?
California, yeah.
Yeah, and and it has become bigger and bigger and bigger. But the drug users has become even greater and greater and greater and greater.
Yeah.
Which is actually that I don't think like it's gonna work for some people. I don't say that 5 to 10% what I've read. Some people say 50%, but that is also a very low chance of someone succeeding. So for me, this gonna work for some people, and that's what I said. If you have tried this and it doesn't work for you, go continue reading his book because he has a lot of other stuff he actually do recommend that is also very great. That you don't always have to focus on just the 12-step program because if that's gonna deter you, continue reading because he has other ways to actually make sure that you understand maybe this is going to work for you and this is not going to work for you.
Right.
So for me, the 12-step program takes me out of it, but also the later chapters also takes me in that you have strength in you that you need to control it. You need to be able to understand it. So if the 12 steps program is not going to work for you, it's not maybe because of you. It's because that program might not be fitting for you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Find your way to actually quit it. So I don't like this stealth program because it's so low chance to actually succeeding. So I don't like it. But I also want the people to understand that it's not just this only way to actually succeed in getting getting to quit drugs or maybe to reduce it to a more comprehending manner.
Right.
So for me, that is the thing that I don't like. But it's like I said, if it's gonna work for you, if you haven't tried it, try it. If it doesn't work for you, see what actually works
Yeah, I
because
mean,
everything on the 12-step pro,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
everything on the 12-step program is good, and
Yes.
everything is not always good, but a lot of things actually you can take that actually gonna suit you more in later life.
Yes. Let me just add a small little thing.
Mm?
See, I've written this book in a manner. The title of the book is "Quit Drugs Like Me." So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I've written whatever helped me in my process. And
Mm,
see, regarding the NA, the Narcotics Anonymous meetings,
mm,
uh, necessarily I didn't like, those meetings that, I
mm, mm,
really
mm,
like
mm,
to go there. It just kept me accountable to my fellow
mm,
friends, addicts who were trying the same thing that I was trying, celebrating every day,
mm,
you know. So this is what happens in the NA. So these are the
mm,
12 steps that are prescribed
mm,
by the NA and the AA, and these have
mm,
certainly worked in my life. See,
mm,
when we see we are powerless. So the first
mm,
day when I went to the NA meeting, I was
mm, mm,
actually powerless. That
mm,
version of me and this version of me are two totally different versions. So
mm,
that day I actually felt powerless, and admitting that I'm
mm,
powerless I'm not able to quit because I was a IV drug user. I used to inject drugs.
mm,
So I could have
mm,
died any day. Still, I carried on doing that for a very long time.
mm, mm, mm,
So literally, I was feeling powerless. And when, I
mm,
admitting that you are powerless, admitting that you're in trouble, admitting that you need help, that is always the first step, right? And the higher
mm,
power thing, it works for the majority of people. Majority. You know, you people like you and me, we are probably
mm,
a small little minority in the whole system. And,
yeah,
the concept of higher power is a very, very huge thing for many people, and surrendering
mm,
to
mm,
something outside of themselves to rely on something much bigger than them that they feel is going to do something for them is necessarily not true, but it is the case with many, many people. They feel
mm,
that there is something outside of them much bigger, and that thing is going to come for their rescue. So for
mm,
majority of the people, these things do work. I've seen people transform their lives after going to these meetings. Most of the people that are running de-addiction centers and rehabilitation centers in my city are a member of the NA. They have been a member of the
mm,
NA. They have recovered because of the NA. So the power is there. I agree. And I also agree that many of the people do not relate with NA meetings also. There are many people who can't even bear
mm,
to sit there for 5 minutes because they feel that all that negative energy coming in from every side, and they can't take it. So there are those people also. But
mm,
since the NA
yeah,
meetings worked to a certain extent with me, and I
mm,
give full credit
yeah,
to NA. So I had to put this
yeah,
chapter in the book also,
yeah,
so that because
mm,
I
yeah,
live in Punjab, and you'll be very
mm,
surprised to hear that many people in Punjab don't haven't even heard about NA. They haven't even heard about
mm,
it, and trying to cope up with the situation with the help of some of the people that have already quit. That is the support
mm,
system here. There is no support system in Punjab. So partially,
mm,
the mission that I'm on, writing
mm,
a book is also part of the mission, is to
mm,
bring awareness to everyone around me. So that
mm, mm,
they can have one resource, this book, and find
mm,
out about all the different techniques and methods regarding quitting,
mm,
recovery, and everything. And I agree, I should
yes,
put the chapter of moderation also in the book. I had that chapter,
mm,
but I didn't really
mm.
want to put it. I don't know why. Maybe the
Yeah,
next books that I'm writing, so after I
mm,
educate some people to get out of it, maybe then we can teach them moderation also. But you're right, moderation
yeah,
for some people, not for some. NA works for some people, not
mm,
for some.
mm,
And so it is the takeaway that you take from the book.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
5% works for you, maybe 10, maybe 20, maybe 30, 40.
precisely.
Yeah, so you're right.
Yeah, yeah, and that is what I want to say. That like for some people that have tried the 12-step program and said it doesn't work for them, they might get deterred by it. But that is why I said continue reading the book because, like I said, if 10% of this book is going to help you, then 10% is going to be better than zero.
Yes.
And I like some of the steps actually. Just like step 8, making amends. We make a list of people we have harmed, become willing to make amends, take responsibility for our actions, lay the groundwork for repairing. It's a very great thing to do because then you take responsibility. You don't have to, if higher power doesn't work for you, you can still take some steps that actually might work for you.
Yeah.
And that is why I said, don't always follow maybe a strict program that you have tried before but you failed, take steps that actually work for you and continue that and building and building and building. Because, like I said, the 12-step program, I don't think is going to be actually the best thing, but I think a lot of it is actually very good. And that is what you said is like, and that is why I said like maybe 10% of the 12-step program is going to work for you. Take those 10% and continue building on that until you have the 100% that's going to be able to make you a better person and getting into your life that you actually want.
Yeah.
So that is a very thing I want to say that because I like a few steps, but I also don't like some steps, and that's what I said. Because those steps are not going to work for me, but a few steps is going to work for me.
Yeah.
That's a very thing like whatever someone says to you, don't always follow it 100%. Take it, learn it, understand why it might work, for you, but it doesn't work for me. And if you have the understanding, then you're capable of taking and understanding your own steps and making adjustments that might work for you even better than maybe and better than it worked maybe for Vikram, because Vikram has, like you have a few steps that, and you have this that works very good for you,
Yeah.
but some might not be doing that. So it's a very good thing that don't always listen to 100% what someone said. Take that it's going to work for you. Take inspiration from people that has that point, and don't always get deterred because he's telling me to follow this 12-step program, but it doesn't work for me. Now I'm not gonna do anything about that. But then you don't also take the account. Then you also don't take the things that might actually work in the step program that actually works for you. So it's a very important thing to be critical of what you're actually taking in, because some things gonna work for you, some is not. But if you understand why it might work for for you and it doesn't work for me, it's a very good thing, because knowledge is what actually makes you continue to your life.
Yes.
And one thing also I like, and that is very like I don't think actually people understand this, but quitting drugs, when you have been using drugs, is a part of who you are. You cannot deny that. So if you want to quit drugs or take a moderation of it, you're gonna take that part out of you, and that is gonna be a hole in your body,
Yeah.
and you don't gonna and then you're not gonna be feeling 100%. You don't gonna feel completed. So maybe going back to drugs is gonna be going back to the comfortable side. Okay, I need to fill this hole again. Drugs failed that hole for me, so now I'm gonna go using it again. So you have where you have where you're gonna do. Let's see here. I have it. I like that quite a lot. Uh, where you had your schedule of doing the morning routines,
Yeah. Yeah.
doing and that is a part of thing, is that you're filling that hole with something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you need to understand that drugs is a part of who you are at the moment. If you want to quit, you need to take that part, but then you're gonna feel empty for a little while, and that's why it's hard to quitting it, because you want to fill that hole again, and drugs kept you feeling that hole again. So you need to fill that hole with something else.
Yeah.
So that is a very important thing, is that fill that hole with something else and continue going that, because then that hole is going to be less and less and less empty, and then after a while you have replacing that hole of your part of yourself with something else, and then you're not going to be continue then it's not going to be as tempting to using drugs, because you already have something else that is inside of you that is not drugs.
Right. Right.
So that is like I don't think many people understand that when you're using drugs is a part of you, and you need to take away that part and continuing filling it up with something else.
Replace it with
So
something.
this thing is like, yeah, precisely. And this thing like on page 106, yeah, because spirituality worked for you, so you did. To strengthen my self-spirituality, I began visiting Gurdwara, a Sikh temple, and seeking strength to pursue my goals, which ride my bicycle there every day, wash utensils, clean the floor, serve the Langa, listen to Gurbani, Sikh religious hymns. This practice gave me a sense of higher power helping me in my struggle. And when you did stuff like that, you're filling that hole with something else. If higher power works for you, then continue doing that stuff, because after a while, like for you, Vikram, you have been successful because you have filled that part of yourself with something else that actually works better for you, that actually strengthens who you actually are as a person, which is a very important thing, is that you're gonna feel empty for a little while if you stop using drugs, and that is totally normal. But then focus on what you can actually fill that part of your life with something else.
Yeah.
That is a very great thing. I also want to ask you, like, you had a lot of different things you did after you were an actor for a little while. What made you start your the addiction center that you have started right now?
Well, I don't have a de-addiction center. I have a de-addiction morcha. It's a front. It's
Okay,
like
okay.
it's like
And the difference is,
the difference is that I don't have a place to keep addicts for their de-addiction and stuff.
Mm-mm,
I work with the government, I work with the
mm-mm,
non-government organizations, and I work with counselors, doctors, and all the elements that put together the de-addiction thing. You know, so
mm-mm,
I kind of I started helping people because I knew if I
mm-mm,
help other people stay away from drugs, I will myself keep away from drugs. If I
mm-mm,
start
mm-mm,
helping other people, I'm helping myself also. So,
mm.
and another thing is that uh, in Punjab where I stay, there are not many de-addiction coaches or mentors or big brothers like me who are telling other people how to quit and how to rejoin the workforce and work towards a better future and that kind of stuff. So uh,
Yeah, yeah.
I had to do it because nobody else was doing it. And
Okay.
I remember when the last time there were elections in Punjab and the new chief minister, the head of the state, came, and his name is Bhagwan Singh Mann, and he said that he wants people, the recovered addicts who've been in drugs and who come out of the drugs successfully, to come forward and help other people do the same. I waited
Mm-mm,
a full month to for anybody else to come forward. I couldn't find any on the social media, so I had to do it. I took it as a challenge that if
mm-mm,
nobody else is doing it, so why not me? So I had to do it. It was really,
mm,
really difficult to come forward and tell everyone that I've been an addict, I've been in addiction, and that sort of thing. But it's been a very rewarding thing for me to do. You know,
mm-mm.
helping other people.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the main thing that I want to
Mm,
tell people, that if you are relapsing again and again, if you're going back to drugs again and again, if you can't find your way out of there, and moderation doesn't help you, other things don't help you, you should try helping other people. That truly helps.
mm,
I feel that you have to help someone get
yeah.
out of misery. You're out of your misery yourself also. So that is what I believe in.
Mm. So, because you have like I said, Punjab is where you were grown up, right?
Punjab, yes.
Yeah. So after you stopped this with the addiction and starting like your own way of helping people, how long did it took for you to get back your reputation? How did people actually see you after you were quit using drugs? Because I think that is going to be a lot of problem with people when they're using drugs. They will still have the reputation of being the drug addict, being the bum, being the like. How did you manage to go through that and overcome that? Because I think that is also going to be a very hard point or a very hard step to actually, after you're quitting drugs, to get over that point as well, because you will have a lot of people trampling you down, still seeing you as the bomb, still seeing you as addicted guy, still seeing you as a failure. How did you actually overcome that after the hard struggle with the drugs you have, with the drugs you were using?
So yeah, that was the most difficult part of my journey, because see, it's been above over 10 years that I quit drugs, and
Mm-mm,
the first few years it was really, really, really difficult for me to work in the society, because everybody took me as an addict. Nobody trusted me. Nobody trusted me with money. Simple, you know, nobody
mm-mm,
trusts a drug addict. So the hack that I did was, I joined a political party. It's called BJP in Chandigarh.
mm-mm,
Yeah. So that was part of the hack. So I started working selflessly for the party, and during that time, elections were Prime Minister Modi. He's from BJP. He's the head of the party, and during those elections,
mm-mm,
I got to work really closely with the society again. And since I
mm-mm,
was not doing any business with them, I was not, transacting anything with them. I was just getting their things done, And, when I was working with the regular, normal people around me, uh, solving their problems related to the municipality, related to everything around them. And because the party is in power, so we had to go and get things done. And since the elections were coming, we had to resolve all the problems that people had. And since I was handling the IT cell, that is the information and technology cell, and slowly I was going up the ranks. So I was able to meet many leaders of the society, get to meet them, talk to them, tell them about my struggles. So slowly the momentum started to build, and people started to accept me as a normal person. After my, the tag that was on my forehead, the addict tag. But the thing that helped me was sharing my story with them. I never hid anything. I never forehold anything. I never, I always I always told everyone that I have been in addiction, so that before they find out about me, from because I was really a menace to the society earlier when I was on drugs.
Yeah.
My father used to be a powerful person, and I used to do all the things that a person should not do. It's I was on a power trip, you can say that. And after I recovered, I made it a point that I went to everyone and shared my story, and that made me stronger from inside also. Because then
You were honest with yourself.
I was honest. I made it actually. I made my weakness as my strength. So before, when I used to, I used to avoid any discussion regarding my addiction problems. You know, I started to come forward with it. I started to talk about it, with everyone that I met. That I had been in addiction. I did some things that I'm not proud of, and I actually went ahead and apologized to many people. I went ahead and you know talked to many people that I had wronged. So that was the thing that really helped me uh, bounce back from my addiction thing, and really come back in the society. And then when people started to look at me like that, that look, he's done what he's done, and now he's apologizing, and now he's working towards it, he's working hard to win back his reputation. And so that helped me. And then many people who were fighting with addiction, and many people who family members were fighting with addiction, and family and loved ones were fighting with addiction, they came forward and they started talking to me that how sometimes all you need is an inspiration. All you need is
Mm-mm.
something that triggers something inside you, that if this man can do it, then I can also do it.
Mm-mm.
That is the whole thing that I'm going around right now. Trying to help people, trying to tell them my story, trying to write a book about it, that how I got out of it. And the things we were talking about right now, how I bounced back into the society. There's another book, following this book. There's a whole series. The series is called Rising Beyond Addiction, and Quit Drugs Like
Mm-mm.
is the first book in that series. And I've got two more books. The next book is about how I made it back in the society, how I, after my de-addiction, after my recovery, how I got successful. And that is going to be a very interesting book in itself, because that
Yeah.
journey has been really, really amazing, I tell you.
Yeah.
And the third book that I've already finished writing is, after I got successful, what I did with that success, how I
Mm-mm.
tried to impact other people with it, how I tried to bring about a small little revolution that I could in the society, which is, I think you've also witnessed it. You were also here, and while you were here, there was some ruckus going on between some of my boys that had come for their recovery. So I think you've also felt that vibe going around here. So,
Mm.
helping people, how I started helping people, how I made the whole system work for me and for many other people. So these are the two books that are following this book, and I really feel that you know I don't care how many people read the book. I don't care if I make money out of it. I don't care about any of it. All I care is if there is just one person who gets inspired by my story, who gets inspired by the books that I'm writing. That is what I want. just even
Mm-mm.
one single person, if one person benefits from all of it, that would be a huge victory for me, and it's working out really well. I'm really happy.
Mm-mm.
And there are more than 35 people uh, in my area that I've already helped in their recovery process. Because I believe in occupational rehabilitation. I feel that once you take away addiction, once you take away drugs from someone's life, you got to give them something better. Something
Mm-mm.
that gets them the respect in the society, that gets them on their feet, that gets them the family that they have to have. It's all about winning your trust back in the society. It's all about having realistic goals, achieving those goals, and contributing back to the society. Being a successful person doesn't mean making money. It means helping people. You know something,
Mm.
that can help somebody. You give it to them. Let them help themselves, and that's it. So that is how I made my space back into the society again. And there are many more things. So I know you'll be the first person to buy that book also. Those books also. We will have another separate podcast about that journey also.
Yeah,
But yes, that's been a very amazing, fantastic journey that I've been on, and I feel that
yeah, that's great to hear.
yeah. So it was difficult, but it was well worth it.
Mm.
So that's
Yeah, so the thing is, like, if I understand you right, it's like a lot of people still want to put you in that position to be like, okay, you're still labeled as the monster or as the drug addict.
yeah,
That people still want to put you in that position,
yeah.
but you need to be more honest with yourself.
Yes,
Um, don't try to hide it because people will find out later. And in the end, you need to prove that you actually is not that. And it's like you said, it's gonna be the hardest part is that proving yourself, not only for you but for people around you. And that is a great thing to know is that that is probably going to be one of the hardest things you're going to do
yeah,
is that you need to just not only prove for other people but you need to prove for yourself that you actually have changed.
yes,
And that is what I said, like a lot of people are going to say stuff to you and a lot of people still going to have a judgment about you, but as long as you're honest with yourself, you know you have changed, you just need to prove it for everyone else.
yes,
And there's gonna be a hard part because people are still gonna try to punch you down in that square box that you were in before,
yeah,
that you're not the changed person. But as long as you believe in actually what you have done, after a while, after a few years, it's gonna change. People is gonna still see it, and you need to just stay strong and continuing on the road you actually want to go.
yes, yes. It's about
Yeah,
being a better version of yourself, not for anybody else, for yourself, for yourself. It's
yeah,
about
yeah,
personal development. It's a journey of personal development. So
yeah.
one thing that actually also helped me was I got into life coaching. Uh,
Mm-mm.
it's uh, it's been very popular for some years now. I joined a coach named Arfin Khan. He's an international coach. He'd been working with Anthony Robbins, Tony Robbins. Everybody's heard about him. And so I joined the program, and I got first I helped myself transform into a better person. Then I started helping other people. So being a better personal person, being a better version of yourself, that is the thing. That is the gist of this technology. Being a better person. So
Yes.
if you be a better person, everybody will love you. That's it.
Mm.
That's it. You have
Yeah.
to be a better person.
Yeah, well, that's great. That's great. Yeah, because I was wondering that because I know because I have a lot of friends actually overcome it, but fell into it again because no one actually like if you've been calling a monster long enough, you're still gonna continue being a monster if you actually start believing them.
Right.
And that is that is what I want to come back to again. Is like people will still have judgment about you. People still have maybe right judgment about you. But
Yeah.
as also said, also take inspiration from those people as well because they might say a lot of bad shit. They might say a lot of bad stuff. that you may not agree with, that you have actually changed, but they also will have critics, but maybe they are not good at pronouncing it because they still have that judgment about you. So always listen to them, take inspiration from them still, because they still have that view on you, and continue going through what you know is actually going to work for you. It's the same thing with this first 12-step program. Like I said, a few steps I actually like. It's gonna, if I was a drug addict, it's still gonna be working for me. But maybe the whole 12-step program is gonna work for you, and maybe not. It's not gonna work for you. But also things like be informed, learn, read. If you have failed, it's okay. You have failed. It's not gonna be a big problem. Take what you actually did right, continue from that, think about what you actually did wrong, what you actually failed, and continue get throwing those away and continue going on to what you did right and continue doing new stuff again and again and again. Because the thing is, like, if the 12-step program didn't work for you, then don't continue in doing it and doing it and doing it, because that's gonna till push you down constantly, and you're still gonna see you as a failure because you're doing stuff that may not work for you. So
Right.
always listen to people around you, even if it sounds bad, and go away, calm down, maybe meditate, and get the full picture and understand why they're coming from. You don't have to agree with them, but
Yeah.
understand why they think that, or why it's gonna work for them, but it's not gonna work for you. Because when you understand yourself, it's easier to understand people around you as well.
Right. Right.
Because the thing is, like, one thing I also gonna say is, like, a lot of people think they're special. Many people are not special, because if everyone's special, no one is special. So remember that a lot of people around you have similar stuff. It's like if you have someone that passed away, like your father, I'm still gonna understand the pain because my grandfather maybe have passed away. So I still understand, similar to that someone close to me is passing away. So it's a lot of things, like, don't, and also very thing is, like, don't be a victim. Because if you are a victim, you don't want to get strong enough to actually become someone that's actually victorious.
Yeah.
So very, very important thing is that don't compare yourself to everyone around you. Understand it, and understand, because a lot, we humans have very similar things and very similar life struggles and stuff like that, but not maybe the same. But we have very similar. It's like I said, you have your father passing away. I have my grandparents passing away. I still understand the pain of having someone close to me passing away. Still, same as you have someone close to you passing away, and that is, have that connection. See that, okay, we have someone, we can understand each other's pain. But I don't understand how it is to have a father passing away, and maybe you don't have an understanding of how a grandfather is passing away or something similar to that. But we still have that similar thing, is that we have someone close to us, and try to connect with that instead of always comparing yourself. Because sure, maybe having a father passing away much harder than a grandfather's passing away, but if you continue being yourself a victim, then you're never gonna then you're never gonna take the control of actually understanding yourself, actually going through that pain. Because if you're always gonna be a victim, then a victim never actually wants to get better, because always blame on something else. I have it harder, or and if someone else has it harder, they don't want to acknowledge that, because they always want to be like, oh, no one understands me because this didn't happen. And understand that, try to connect with people, try to understand them. You don't always have to agree with them, but try to understand where they're coming from. When you do that, you're also challenging your point of view. You maybe hear something that you will never would heard, or never would actually be around with someone always gonna be like agreeing with you. So as long as you try to understand them and not always comparing yourself on which having the hardest pain, then you're gonna start finding your strength in yourself as well. So I think that is a very important thing.
Yeah.
Listen to people around you. May not agree with them, but understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
It's the same things, like after you stopped addiction, you understand why people didn't have trust in you, because you failed that trust before.
Yeah.
And you took that understanding, you maybe not agreeing with them because you have changed as a person, but you understood where they're coming from. So
Yeah.
then you put that understanding and actually put your strength in something else, and they start to understand you much better, even if they don't always agree with you. And that is a very important thing, that stop comparing yourself with someone else, because in the end, no one is gonna care.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, find the strength in you, find the understanding in you, and you don't always have to agree with someone, but understand where they're coming from.
Wow. Very good, sir. Very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
yeah,
You know what I think?
yeah,
I think you'll be a very good author, sir. And you have to write a
yeah,
book and you have to have a podcast because you're very good at it. You're very good at it.
yeah, yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, man.
Thank you
Thank you,
for
man.
thank you for the kind words. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
No, no, but I've learned that and the thing is, like, always, like, whatever struggle you have, always go back to it. You don't have always don't be stuck in the past, but don't always try to ignore the past. Maybe sometimes go back to it, go through the hard times you actually had, the reason why you had hard times. Maybe those hard times wasn't your fault, but you maybe put yourself in those situations where someone took control of that. So always look under that, and it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be painful. But also, one thing that is very important. It's like, I heard a story that a father told his child, "Can you put?" He pointed at a very very small tree. He's like, "Can you put this out?" And the kid did it. The kid was around 8 years old, 8 to 10 years old. He put it. It was very easy. Then he put a little bit. Then he pointed at a little bit bigger tree, and then he said, "Can you pull that out?" Okay, the kid tried, and after a while, he actually succeeded. And then the father put on a big tree, like many meters tall.
Yeah.
And the kid looked at him. He was like, "How am I supposed to do that?" He tried and tried and tried and failed.
Mm.
And then the father said, "The longer you wait, the harder the roots are gonna go into your body."
Yeah.
So this thing is like, if you're doing it at 40, it's gonna be more struggling for you if you do it than you're doing it at 20. But the earlier you start, the easier it's gonna become later in life. But the later you start, it's gonna be more struggle, but you're still gonna succeed it. But remember that the roots, they grow deeper and deeper and deeper in you the longer you wait. So start as fast as you can with the problems you have. Even if you start later, it's going to be harder, but you're still going to succeed if you continue doing that path. So that is a very important thing. Like, the younger you start, it's going to be easier because the roots hasn't gone into you so much. But don't be dissuaded by it, because it's very important to start as early as you can when you know that you're able to do it. And it's gonna be more struggle the later you wait, but after a while you will still succeed. So that is a very important thing. It's never too late for you to start, but remember, the later you start, the later you push it back, it's gonna be harder and harder to do it. So when you want to stop addiction, or you want to more control it, start today. Even if you're 50, even if you're 60, even if you're 20, start today and continue from that. Don't focus on someone else. Don't compare yourself to someone else, because in the end, comparing us to someone else is not going to be good. But take inspiration from someone else. That is a different thing.
Right. Right. Well said, sir. Well said. Very well said.
Yeah. Yes. So
So, regarding this book, would you recommend this book to other people who might be watching? Would you want to say something, anything, sir?
yes, I actually do recommend this book, because, like I said, it's very easy to read. But like I said, everything in this book is not going to work for you.
Yeah.
Always have that in mind. This worked for you, Vikram, but might not work for anyone else. If
Yes.
20% of this book is going to help you, then take those 20%, and
Yes.
then continue taking inspirations from other people, from other around you. And the thing is, like, mostly now, people have the knowledge in their hands, the telephone.
Yeah.
Continue in taking inspiration from people and make your own way, because in the end, sure, we are very similar people, but not everything is going to be as easy as it is for me as it is for you, and the opposite is true. So I do recommend this book, because it's a very easy book to read. But if you don't agree with some points, that's okay. If you don't agree with anything, that's okay. But have an understanding of maybe how it works, and then you will start to understand yourself much better.
Yeah.
So it's a very important thing, that you may not agree with 0% of the book, maybe 100% of this book, or 20%, 10%, 15, 90%. Take what you actually gonna work for you. And if you fail with it, look back on what actually worked for you and take away that didn't actually work for you, and look back on it, learn from your failure what you didn't, take away that you failed, take the strength and continue failing and continue looking back on what you have learned.
Right.
That is how you're actually going to become better and better and better, because like I said, with the roots, it's still going to have hard for you, but take it. You're going to fail a lot of times. That's normal. Take what you failed, look at why you failed it, look at what you make actually good, continue what you make actually good, and continue doing that. So I do recommend this book. It's a very easy to read. You have a lot of points that I actually like. You have information that I like. So I think it's a very good book for someone that actually wants to try a different path. And like I said, everything is in this book. It's 100% that not all of people is gonna agree with 100% this book. And it is okay. Continue reading it, because some points is gonna be connected to you. It's like, okay, this is more like me. I can take this, and that's the thing. Read, learn also about the drug you're using and stuff like that. Because information when you have is gonna be more calming to yourself after you have learned about it. So
Yes.
take what you can, continuing, failing, succeeding, because it's like a pregnant woman. Everyone is happy about that you got pregnant, but no one knows how many times you got fucked.
Yeah.
So, so that is life. So you will get fucked a lot of times, but learn it. And if you know, well, the only time you were able really, really, really fail is when you stop doing it, when you stop continuing forward.
Right.
So that is the truth, and that is the reason why you need to continuing, because you're gonna fail. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be uncomfortable, but continuing until you never stop, then you're actually never gonna fail.
That's right. That's right. And I just want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
I would like to kind of appeal to everyone who's watching this, that if you are someone who has been in addiction, who has come out of addiction, I appeal to you to come in front of the society, tell everyone that how you did it, write books about it, do podcasts, I don't know, maybe share posts on your social media, but there is someone who is actually waiting for that inspiration to strike. Getting to know someone who's done it successfully, reading about their story, listening to them actually gives you a little spark in you sometimes, and that the
Mm,
spark that helps you want to be a better person. So I think coming out with your story and telling everyone about it, that is
mm,
the main thing. Writing a book, that's a technical thing, but the main thing behind the madness is just coming out with your story, just telling everyone, and it's an accomplishment that you feel inside you once you come out, and and if you are able to help someone with it, that's a great feeling, right? That's a great feeling.
mm.
So everybody should come
Yeah, it
with
is.
their stories like this. So that is
Mm,
what I want to say.
yeah. So I want to add also this is that when you put yourself out there as well, is you will have people that will disagree with you,
Yes.
and this is the thing. You don't always have to agree with everyone.
Yeah.
Don't focus on that. Focus on being truthful, because in the end, truthful is gonna win in the long run, but not in the short run.
Yeah.
But in the long run, the truthful is gonna win. Don't always try to feel like everyone's gonna agree with you, or you need to be accepted by everyone, because you're never gonna be that. It doesn't matter how successful you are in life, or how fucked up you are in life. No one is actually just going to be behind you 100%. And not all people are not going to be behind you 100%. You will still have people that don't agree with you after you have done this. After you not only proven for yourself but proven people around you, people might still think that you're still that addict. And you don't always have to please everyone. So always focus on that you don't always please with everyone, but if you're pleased with yourself, you will find people around you that actually accept who you are, and actually accept what you have done and what you're gonna become. And also, very important thing: don't be surrounded with yes men or women, because if those people they only be around you when you succeed. When you fail, they're gonna leave you. So be around people that actually can be truthful with you, can actually say how it is, even if it's hurtful. And like I said, if it's gonna be hard for you, back off, see the full picture, and then talk about it again.
Sure. Right. Right.
Yes.
So,
So
anything else you want to say, sir, before we close this podcast?
no, I think it's. I had a very great time here. I'm glad I could do this first podcast with you. I'm still glad I met you as a friend when I was backpacking my way in India,
Yeah.
and I wish you all success. And yeah, I'm very grateful to be here. Very grateful to have this conversation. I like this conversation. It's a very intriguing, and I think it's the best thing is that when you hear this podcast is that me and Vikram doesn't always agree with each other, but we understand each other, and that is a very great thing to do. Is that you have people that not always is gonna agree with you, that's gonna challenge your point of view, and that is a very important thing. When you have those people around you, that is how you actually have a great community
Yes.
that you're gonna create as well.
Thank you, Victor.
Yes.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for thank you for being here, and
Really
have
appreciate
a
it.
great day, man. And you also that are also watching this podcast.
So thank you everyone for joining us. And as you can see, Victor is a lovely human being, and you love him for it. And for the Victor's friend watching the show, I think I can also be liked if you like me. So you like me? That's a request. All right. All right. All right. So
Yes.
we'll finish the podcast. And thank you everyone. Thank you, Victor. Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Yes. Have a great day, and you everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you for watching the full episode. Don't forget to subscribe us for more episodes like this one. See you the next time. Bye.